Hey there, future fellow weirdo of the flock. How are you? Welcome to the most expensive church this side of the universe, the Porgy Pen. Yay! What we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book called God, Me, right now in God voice, God. Right. This is my unofficial biography, Das Bible, as read by this super awesome ghetto lady. She's a redneck. Yeah. She's going to be reading you this story. Her name is
the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage, Saint Nikki K the Great. Ha ha. And I am wonderful. Clap for me, I clap for you. You're clapping. Yeah. Ha. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, we're reading Samuel. We are in the story of Saul. And Samuel told Saul, yeah, you're not going to be king for a while. No. Okay, yeah. Samuel told Saul, look, God is leaving you. He picked somebody else. You don't know how to listen and you suck. That's what he told him. You don't know how to listen and you suck. But I want to do something because, well, I want to do something. Okay. See, I don't know. Does it not work or does it work? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay. Well, it seems to be working. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's working. So, let's find out now. Okay. Well, as far as I can tell, it's working. And that's okay. Somebody might tell me if it's different. I don't know. But anyway, and then God tells Samuel go on a journey. So Samuel is going on this journey to Jesse. And Sam is like, Jesse, I need your sons. So when he gives him all of his sons but one. And none of his sons, well, none of the sons that he showed would be king. So he's like, do you got another one? He's like, my youngest. And it turns out Jesse's youngest son, David, who looks like Jason Statham, um, he is picked to be king. But then God put his own evil spirit on Saul to fuck with him. So this evil spirit of God's is fucking with Saul. So like you need some kind of music. You need some kind of music, right? And we know just the guy. His name is David, and he looks like Jason Statham. And Saul's like, okay, we'll go get him. So they went and got David, and David can play music that makes the evil spirit and Saul calm down. Now, if that sounds interesting and you want to hear more, come this way. I have cigarettes, I have cannabis, I have a coffee, I have a chair with your name on it, I have cat beds and canine space. So feel free to come on and have seats. We'll have good time. Yeah, we'll have the best time. Oh, look, we got another song. Yeah, and this time I won't get it wrong because there's only one. So, let's do it.
Just like this book we've read, reading stuff we're already reading. What?
Say, we're only on chapter.
Chapter 17. Ooh. Oh, I love myself. Oh, I'm so fun. I love me. I'm the best ever. Yeah. There ain't nobody as cool as me. I mean it, and I said it. I am so fun. Anyway. I'm so much fun.
I'm so stupid. Okay. See, it seems to still be working good. I'm just gonna let it do its magic. Okay. So, chapter 17 says, now, the Philistines gathered their armies together to battle, and were gathered at Soko, which belongs to Judah. They encamped between Soko and Azekah and Ephes-dammim. And Saul and the men of Israel, these terrible ass people, were gathered together, and they encamped in the valley and drew up in a battle array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, with a valley in between. So the red snakes were over here, and the people were over here. So they was gonna fight, like going down the mountain, like the orcs and the elves, like. See, this is why I wish I had a lot of toys. Hold on. I got toys. I got the perfect toys, as a matter of fact. I used to have a lot of more toys. Okay. So we got Madara on this side and Naruto on this mountain. So Madara's on this mountain, Naruto's on this mountain. And then they both run down the mountain and then fight each other in the valley. Yeah, it's just like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. It's okay. That's the only time I'm gonna smash. No, I take that back. You guys are gonna get smashed together a lot. So I apologize. I'll just put you right here. Hug each other until next time. Okay. So everybody is on this side and everybody is on that side, and they're fighting in the middle. And a champion went out from the camp of the Philistines named Goliath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of bronze. And he had bronze armor on his legs and a bronze javelin between his shoulders. Now, the staff of the spear was like a weaver's beam, and his iron spearhead weighed 600 shekels. And a shield bearer went before him. Then he stood and cried out to these terrible people and said, "Why do you people suck so bad? You know, if you didn't suck so bad, we probably wouldn't be here, but you suck and stuff." Like, I don't know that to be for true, but these people told me you suck, so I'm just gonna assume you suck. So in other words, you suck. Okay. And then he was like, "I'm a Philistine, and you're the servants of Saul. Choose a man for yourself, and let him come down to me. If he was able to fight and kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then you shall be our servants and serve us, and wash our backsides with Begul, and serve the Philistines. I defy the armies of you terrible ass people this day. Give me a man that we may fight together." When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now, David was the son of that Ephraimite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse, who had 8 sons. And the man was old and advanced in years in the days of Saul. The 3 oldest sons of Jesse had gone and followed Saul to battle. Hold on. They had gone and followed Saul to battle. The names of the 3 who went were Eliab, Abinadab, and Shemaiah. David was the youngest, and the 3 oldest followed Saul. We just said that. But David occasionally went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. And the Philistine drew near and presented himself 40 days, morning and evening. Then Jesse said to his son, "Son, why is this so long?" That's what he said to him. Why? Oh my God. Is this really this long? Hold on. Oh my God. This can't really be this long, can it? No. So then, where the fuck is chapter? Oh, there it is. Okay, but this is still super long. super long for no reason. Okay. Said, take now for your brothers an ephah of this dried grain and these 10 loaves. Run to your brothers at the camp and carry these 10 cheeses to the captain of their thousands and see how your brothers fare and bring back news of them. Now, Saul and all the men were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. So David rose early in the morning, left the sheep with the keeper, and took the things and went as Jesse commanded him. And then he came to the camp as the army was going out to the fight and shouting for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had drawn up in battle array, army against army. And David left his supplies at the supply keeper and ran to the army and came and greeted his brothers. Then as he talked with them there was the champion, Goliath, coming up from the army of the Philistines. And he spoke. He was steady talking shit about these people. Like, you guys suck. You have big nose. Your legs look like they could be on cockroach. You look like a snake body with a rat head. Yes, you're what do you call rat snake. You are rat snake with cockroach leg. You are no good. You people, you suck. You take all the money and you leave it for no one. You are no fun. And you turn on each other. One goes this way, one goes this way. And then one takes all the money, one takes none of the money, and then fight, and then no one has money. But whatever. Okay. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were dreadfully afraid. So these terrible ass people said, have you seen this man who has come up? Surely he has come up to defy Israel. And it shall be that the man who kills him, the king will give great things to, and his daughter. And then his daddy won't have to pay taxes. It'll be a good time. And then David was like, what will be done for the man who kills him? And what's the king going to do? And who is this guy anyways? I'll beat his ass. I don't even know what's going on, but I'm pretty sure whatever it is, I can fix it. So just let me at him. Let me at him. Let me at him. Right. And everybody's like, no, that's not even a thing. And David's like, it could totally be a thing if you wanted it to be a thing. Yep, that's what he said. Give me just 1 second. Give me uno momento. Okay. So. Okay. Why? Okay. So. David, he said, and the people were like, yeah, this guy is talking mad shit about everybody. Right? But the king said if anybody can get rid of him, Now, Eliab, his oldest brother, heard when he spoke to the men, and he was so pissed off. And he was like, why are you here? Right? And what about our animals? I know your pride and the insolence of your heart. And David said, who is you talking to? You might be talking to me, but that's fine, but I can win. I could beat this guy. And why? Why anybody else can, why can't I? I literally fight things for a living. Animals that are twice his size. Look, I'm not worried about this guy. This guy is douchebag. Now, the words which David spoke, they heard, and they reported it to Saul. And Saul sent for him. And David said, no, don't be scared of this guy. I can beat him, no problem. It'll be no issue at all to beat this guy. And Saul was like, no, are you kidding? No way. And David's like, I killed lions, tigers, and bears for sheep. This guy is no problem for me and my shiny stone. I have good time. I don't even need a weapon. But Saul gave his armor to David, and he's like, I can't move my arms. So they took it off, and then David just went and picked up some rocks. Okay? Moreover, David said, the Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and bear will deliver me from the hands of this douchebag. I just want them to know I said douchebag as a douchebag. It's no fun. Oh, I'm having way too much fun for no reason. And his armor. No. And then David said, no, I can't wear this. And he took them off. Then he took his staff in his hand. He chose for himself 5 stones from the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag and a pouch which he had. And his sling was in his hand. And he drew near the Philistine. So the Philistine came and began drawing near to David. And the man who bore the shield went before him. When the Philistine looked and saw David, he disdained him, for he was only a youth, ruddy and good looking, like Jason Statham. David looks like Jason Statham. So the Philistine said, am I a dog? Like, what do you think I am? This little pissant. What is this? This is snack for me. Like, good time. Chef Boyardee, snack for me. A good time. Yeah, just like that. And I said it with my chest. And about that time, that stone cracks him in the head. And he's like, sinks into his brain. Bam! Look, it just went in there. Cracked his skull. And he cracked that brain blood barrier. And then, bam! His lights out. Okay, they talk too much. Okay. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and stone, and struck the Philistine and killed him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore, David ran and stood over the Philistine, took his sword, drew it out of its sheath, and cut his head with it. Bam, bam, bam. Take that, motherfucker. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they fled. Now, when these terrible ass people and Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines as far as the entrance of the valley and the gates of Ekron. Now, the wounded of the Philistines fell along the road to Sha'arim, even as far as Gath and Ekron. Then these terrible ass people returned from chasing. Then they plundered the tents, and David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Julian, but he put his armor in his tent. When Saul saw David going against the Philistine, he said to Abner, who is this? And Abner said, I don't know. How does he not know that's the dude that plays his music? How does he not know that? And then as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistine. And Saul said, who is you? And David was like, I'm the dude that plays you music when you're all tweaked out and shit. That's not what he said. He said, I am the son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite. Yeah. Well, that's the end of chapter 17 real quick. So, let's smoke a cigarette. Okay. So, hi, Sheriff Hector. I don't know if he stayed or not, but hi. Or wasn't that a lady? I don't remember. I think Sheriff Hector was a lady. And she wasn't actually a sheriff, right? I might have that wrong. Who messaged me? Oh, that girl did. There's a lot of girls that have been messaging me. I think I said that the other day. I don't know where all these people come from. And then I don't know why they don't watch my live stream. They message me an awful lot. Which I don't mind being messaged. But you should watch my live stream. If you want to be friendly with me, watch my live streams. Talk to me about this kind of stuff. I don't know. Okay, 18's not that long. cats are being assholes. Oops. Okay. Now, when he had finished speaking, Saul. Okay. PSA. If you're watching this, you might not like what I'm about to say. But also, you can take it in your own way. And every time I read this, I have to give the warning. You may not like this, but I'm gonna fucking say it because the book fucking says it. I'm not going to go totally overboard with it. Not gonna be disrespectful about it. It was the first time I ever read this book because I was not expecting that. And plus, I wanted to be as offensive as I could because I was tired of people lying to me about the Bible and what the Bible said. Because the Bible didn't say anything. It doesn't say anything that I was ever told. And especially with this part right here, everybody wants to act like King David was the best man. He wasn't that way. I think the Bible spits it out pretty convincingly that he was definitely that way. What way do you ask? Well, it's up for you to decide what way. I'm going to tell you what I think as I'm reading this, but you may have a different feeling and it may mean something different to you. But I'm going to tell you what I was told, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. And then you can decide what this actually says to you. So here we go. Chapter 18. Did I sing the song? I don't know if I sang the song. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to sing the other song because I sang the wrong song. Okay.
18 chapters.
Of another book.
I've already read this.
I already read this. So I'm gonna read it again. 18 chapters.
Oh, I love myself. That's the last song I know. Okay. Now, when he had finished speaking to Saul, so when David was done talking, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David. Okay. My mom says this is like they were brothers. But when you knit your soul, that was supposed to be the whole thing with Adam and Eve. Their souls became one. The same with soulmates. Your souls are knitted together and you become one. I've never once heard of my soul is knitted to my brothers. This is some soulmate ass shit right here. And my mom said, no, it's like they're brothers, they're best friends. Yeah. No, if your soul is knitted to somebody else's soul, that means you guys are soulmates. You're meant to be together. And Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took him that day and would not let him go home to his father's house anymore. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. They promised to love each other forever till death do us part. I promise, David. I promise, Jonathan. I do. Okay. And Jonathan took off the robe that was on him and gave it to David with his armor. So Jonathan got naked and gave everything to David. Now, this is a submissive thing. Okay. Somebody said he humbled himself to David. This is a submissive thing. Take me as I am. I submit to you. You are my master. Yeah, it's some kind of shit like that. So David went out wherever Saul sent him and behaved wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. Now it happened as they were coming home when David, oh God, here we go. So there's a song that's being played on the ancient radio, and it's being broadcasted everywhere. It's a song about how Saul did this, but David did more. And this song irks Saul's soul, okay? Because this song is really catchy, and it's like, Saul killed 1,000, David killed 10,000. We're just killing people, but David is winning. You know, something like that. That's exactly how it went down. Something just like that. So, again, this song totally irked Saul. It made him so mad, okay? And Saul is thinking to himself, no, wait, no. He became very angry. Now, what? Oh yeah. So I was like, I really hate this song. Now, what more can he have but the kingdom? So Saul eyed David from that day forward. And it happened on the next day that the distressing spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied inside the house. So David played music with his hand, as at other times. But there was a spear in David's hand. And Saul cast the spear, for he said, I will pin David to the wall. But David escaped his presence twice. So Saul tried to kill David so far 2 times. 2 times? Now, Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him, but departed from Saul. Therefore, Saul removed him from his presence and made him his captain over thousands And he went out and came in before the people. And David behaved wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Therefore, when Saul saw that he behaved very wisely, he was afraid. But all these terrible ass people and Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them. Then Saul said to David, "Here is my older daughter, Merab. I will give her to you as a wife. Only be valiant for me and fight the Lord's battles." Because Saul thought, well, if I give him my daughter, he'll be she's a miserable bitch, right? So he's going to be a miserable asshole and just want to die. And then David said, "Who am I? What is my life or my father's family in Israel that I should be son-in-law to the king?" But it happened at the time when Saul's daughter should have been given to David. She was given to Adriel, the Maholathite, as a wife. Now, Michal, Saul's daughter, loved David, and they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. So Saul said, "She might be a miserable bitch, so we'll try this again, but with Michal." So Saul said to David, "You will be my son-in-law today." And Saul commanded his servants, "Communicate with David secretly and say, 'Look, the king has delight in you, and all his servants love you. Now, therefore, become the king's son-in-law.'" So they did, and David says, "Does it seem to you a light thing to be the king's son-in-law, seeing I am poor and lightly esteemed?" And the servants of Saul told him, in this manner David spoke. Then Saul said, "All right, tell him, I don't require a dowry. I only need," hold on, what is it? "I need 100 Philistine dicks." "Take vengeance on the king's enemies." And Saul thought this would kill the Philistines. So when the servants told David, it pleased David well to become the king's son-in-law. Now, the days had not expired. Therefore, David rose and went with his men, and they killed 200 men of the Philistines. And he brought back their dicks, and then told Saul, "Here's your bag of dicks. I hope you enjoy your bag of dicks." Then Saul gave him Michal, his daughter, as a wife. Thus Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David, and that Michal, Saul's daughter, loved him, and Saul was still more afraid of David. So Saul became David's enemy continually. Doesn't it mean David became Saul's enemy continually. Then the princes of the Philistines went out to war, and it was, whenever they went out, that David behaved more wisely than all the servants of Saul. So his name became highly esteemed. And that is the end of chapter 18. Yeah. How many minutes are we at? I don't even know. 46 minutes. And that thing hasn't even beeped yet. Huh. Let's see. Nineteen's not that long. Alright. Yeah, we'll do chapter 19 also. Okay. Now, Saul spoke to Jonathan, his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted greatly in David, because they're soulmates. So, Jonathan told David, saying, "My father seeks to kill you. Therefore, be on your guard until morning, and stay in a secret place and hide. And I will go out and stand beside my father in a field where you are, and speak with my father about you. Then what I observe I will tell you." Thus Jonathan spoke well of David to Saul his father, and said, "Let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he has not sinned against you, and because his works have been very good towards you. For he took his life in his hands and killed the Philistine, and the Lord brought about a great deliverance for all us terrible ass people. You saw and rejoiced. Then will you sin against innocent blood to kill David without cause?" Like, why would you do that? You don't need to do that. So Saul heeded the voice of Jonathan and swore, "As the Lord lives, he shall not be killed." That's taking the Lord's name in vain, because he's about to lie like a motherfucker. Then Jonathan called David and told him these things. So Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in his presence at times past. And there was a war again, and David went out and fought with the Philistines, and struck them with a mighty blow, and they fled from him. Now the distressing spirit from the Lord came upon Saul, as he sat in his house with a spear in his hand, and David was playing music. Then Saul sought to pin David to the wall, but David escaped from Saul's presence, and he drove the spear into the wall. So David fled and escaped that night. So Saul sent messengers to David's house to watch him and kill him in the morning. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, "If you do not save your life tonight, tomorrow you will be killed." So Michal let David down through a window. He went and fled. He escaped. And Michal took an image and laid it in bed and put a cover of goat's hair over its head and covered it with clothes. So when Saul sent messengers to take David, She said, "He is sick." Then Saul sent the messengers back to David, saying, "Bring him to the bed that I may kill him." And when the messengers had come in, there was an image in the bed with a cover of goat's hair. Then Saul said, "Why? Why did you let him escape?" And she said, "Because he was nice to me. Like, he told me all sorts of nice things. And also, he's my husband that you let me marry because I like him. So no duh, I'm going to save him." Because he was nice to me. So David had escaped and went to Samuel at Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he and Samuel went and stayed in Naioth. Now it was told to Saul, saying, "David is in Naioth and Ramah." Then Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the group of prophets prophesying and Samuel standing as the leader over them, then the Spirit of God came upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. And when Saul was told, he sent more messengers, and they prophesied likewise. Then Saul sent messengers again the third time, and they prophesied. Then he went to Ramah himself, and came to the great well that is at Sechu. And he asked and said, "Where is Samuel and David?" And somebody said, "They're over there." So he went over there. Then the Spirit of God was upon him also, and he went on and prophesied until he came to Ramah. And he also stripped off his clothes and prophesied before Samuel in like manner, and lay down naked all that day and all night. So then they were like, "Is Saul also a prophet?" Bam! Almost on time. Look at that. We're at an hour. Bam! We do such a good job. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe because it's amazing. So, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to tell you it is time to It is time to give the pillows some head and the sheets some ass, and have the sweetest dreams ever. Love you so much. Good night.